Do we have a judiciary that legislates, or do we have a judiciary that adjudicates? I'd say that is the question, but it's been said before. This one learned senator said, look what happened. A man named Thurgood Marshall filed a suit against the Board of Education. And if it wasn't for an activist Supreme Court that overruled Faubus, Maddox, Wallace, Byrd, and those Southerners who were denying equal rights to the African Americans, if it wasn't for the Supreme Court activism, those schools would not have been segregated. And that goes to the very essence of the question. And that question answered itself. Because the Supreme Court did not make law. They did what they first and foremost should do in any proceeding. They adhered to the Constitution of the United States. They did not make law. Make no mistake about it. This nominee has complimented us time and time again with her testimony and her decisions. She respects the legislative branch of government. And trust me, there have been decisions in Hawaii where the judicial branch of government, specifically the Supreme Court, has rendered our responsibility constitutionally to make law mute by their errant decisions. There is gray area in the process, and that's why they call them judges. I won't go into those decisions. I also worry about, in making the decision here today, about our credibility. Much has been said about Attorney Seitz. You know what? I give Seitz credit. I don't agree with him. But he had the courage to come down here and state his case publicly and on the record. What is particularly disturbing and what oftentimes filters into our decision making and our asking ourselves why is those anonymous calls. And is some senator saying, well, I got an anonymous call that said so-and-so's a nasty word. The very fact that a senator would say that defies fairness and logic. We don't know about anonymous testimony. The anonymous call could have come from the Kaneohe Mental Institution. The anonymous call could have come from a convicted violent criminal. The anonymous call could have come from those vile, vicious person, or someone who has tremendous credibility. But the fact that it is anonymous invalidates that. I pray that you, my colleagues, the 22 of you sitting here today, do not make the question why partially answered by anything offered to you anonymously. This decision is momentous. It's no secret that many of you have made up your mind. I will leave you with this. I too made up my mind this last session on a nominee to the land board. In our long deliberative caucuses in the Republican caucus, where all two of us debate the issues at hand, we also have split decisions. Both of us decided that the nominee to the land board was great. We knew him. We were going to support him. And I was on the subject matter committee. And I was going to stand up and, as we always do, say laudatory compliments on those people who have gained the confidence of this legislature. But a funny thing happened. We got to the floor, and a respected leader on the other side of the aisle stood up. And he said something very interesting. He said that this nominee was the nominee to be a native practitioner. And he very intelligently laid a foundation for the necessity of having a native practitioner on the land board. It's because a law we made. You might remember it, Senator President. I think you're familiar with the author of that law. So how could we defy our own law by confirming someone who himself said he was not a native practitioner? It was painful. But Senator Sloan and I looked at each other and we agreed and voted no. Well, I would suggest that you have an opportunity today to do just the opposite. You have an opportunity today to search your consciences. You have an opportunity today to vote consistent with the very resolution you passed this last session. But more importantly, you have an opportunity today to put in leadership of the state judiciary a human being, not a woman, not a man, a human being who's eminently qualified to lead the state judiciary. You have a chance today to affirm the integrity of this process and the integrity of this Senate. And I hope you won't make Hawaii proud. I hope you first and foremost will make yourselves proud by voting yes for this nominee. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Any further discussion?